Dot is presented by Benjamina Mia Casino. Licensed real estate professional since 2008. License number S01669991 LLC. It's a lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Hey everyone, good morning. It's not the noon time right now, but it's the morning. And what day is it? It's the 25th of March, 2026. My name is Dorothy Tom. Welcome to On the Dot. You can call me Lola Dot Dot or Dot Dot. And my partner
Dot
here
Dot.
is Mia.
Hello, everyone. Happy last Wednesday for March.
Is it?
It is. The last quarter
All
is
right.
over so quickly.
We don't have March 32, correct? Yeah, all right. Mia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You look lovely, Mia.
Thank you. I love your shirt.
Gorgeous. You look gorgeous, Mia.
I love your shirt.
Thank you.
Ambot. What does ambot mean?
Ambot means, I
Never
don't
mind.
know. I don't know.
Oh, I don't
or
know.
ewan in
Yeah.
Tagalog. Ewan. I don't know. Ambot.
Ambot is Bisaya.
It's Ilonggo. I don't know if they
I think
use
that's
it.
Bisaya to know. Ambot.
I don't know if they use it in Cebu, Mindanao, and Davao. I don't know.
Ambot.
Ambot. I don't know. All right. So today is a very special day for us, as it always is very special in all our episodes. And we want to thank Magnolia.
Yes.
What's her last name? What's her?
Magat, yes.
Magnolia Magat was our guest last week because she introduced us to these two amazing ladies who you will know in a little bit. Mia, would you like to introduce them?
Yes, these two amazing ladies are from Jade Society, Mahjong.
Mahjong.
We learned now that it's Mahjong.
Mahjong. Or
We call it
Mahjong.
Mahjong in the Philippines. But let me introduce our first guest. Our first guest is a Korean American food content creator and recipe blogger, a mom, and created Jade Society with Terry, our other guest, this year. Just this year. Wanting to bring the love for food, supporting small local restaurant businesses, and Mahjong all into one. And then our next guest is Terry Galura Chong, a second-generation Filipina-American whose parents are from Angeles City, Pampanga, born in Akron, Ohio, and then migrated to Southern California when she was 9 years old and retired in Henderson. Currently, in addition to sharing the love for Mahjong with Jade Society, she enjoys spending time with family, friends, traveling, volunteering, and enjoying the great outdoors. Our guest, Miss Terry Galura Chong and Miss Susie Hendricks. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes,
Our pleasure.
we're happy to be here.
We are happy to have you here. So I'm sharing this on Facebook right now. And we want to say hello to our... Sorry, my mic was off. Blooper number 1.
Oh, no.
Da-da-da. Hi, I'm
The whole
bored.
time.
No, only this time. Only
You're
this
like,
time. Okay, what was I saying?
You were sharing it on Facebook?
Yes, I was sharing on Facebook. So we want to say hello to our viewers. If you're late, don't worry. This is live streamed and this can be on replay. All right, welcome to our little studio. You like it? It's a little
Yes.
bit. We're on air, but we don't have a little air. We need a little air here. All right,
It's okay.
So Mahjong, how did you get? What's your inspiration for creating the society? Let's go with you. Who made this first? Terry?
So I grew up playing Mahjong with my mother, first of all, in a Filipino family. And like a lot of Filipinos, it was a tradition. During holidays, get-togethers, we would just gather around the table and play. And I then taught my son, who then taught his friends. And then maybe a couple of years ago, they started having weekly games, sometimes monthly, and we called them Mahjong Mondays. And it was
that's nice.
just a bunch of his friends who had all learned from my son. And we started seeing clubs that were formed in other cities, like Green Tile Social Club in New York, Mahjong Underground in LA, and started to see that people were gathering, learning the game. And I had started playing with Susie and our friends, and we started talking about we should do this here in Las Vegas.
We have a group of girlfriends that we try to get together as much as we can, and we finally decided to play together. And I remember when I got my first Mahjong, I was so excited. I was like, yay! And I took a picture of it and I shared it on my Instagram story, just like, hey, we're playing Mahjong, look, I won, And I was shocked how many people wrote back and replied, oh, I've always wanted to learn how to play the game, but I've never had a chance to.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how many people, interacted with just that story. And so I told Terry about it. And that was the first time in all the years that I've known her. She was like, oh, I would love to start like a club, like an official club where we had like more space that we can invite more people. And in the beginning, I just took it as is. And then when I went home, I was like, do we know somebody? And guess what? Magnolia, just ding. She has, her breakfast and brunch cafe, truffles and bacon. And I was like, Terry, she's not open at night.
It was a perfect, Magnolia has really been our advocate from the beginning.
Yes.
And she plays as well.
So we invited her to lunch, and we were like, Magnolia, we have an idea.
We just were like, Susie and I talked about it. We're like, let's just see what she says. And we were playing, and then Susie said, are you going to ask her? And I said, well, Magnolia.
Terry was scared.
I was like, I have this dream. I've had this dream of starting a Filipino Mahjong club. And she's like, why don't you do it at Truffles and Bacon? And it was like, there you go.
That is the official venue?
That was one of them.
That's one of our regular venues. We try to go to other parts of the valley just so that it's not just in Henderson or just in Chinatown, because people they live in Summerlin or North Las Vegas.
So people host you like houses
How's the
or
process? I saw that you support local businesses.
Yeah, go ahead, Mia.
How do you do that?
Well, we actually know a lot of restaurant businesses because other than Mahjong, I was once like a restaurant food content creator. Now I actually do a lot more cooking, but when I do the part of my occupation now is to do food content creation for small businesses.
Right.
So of course we know a good amount of small business owners. So we have been so fortunate because these owners are more than happy to host us. So we know how lucky we are. They're just like, we've gone, so we started at Truffles and Bacon, we've gone to Cafe 86. They're like, hey, when are you going to come back?
Okay.
And we just went to, where did we go?
We done Ina Simon.
Yeah, we did Ina Simon.
We were just at Go Go Crane.
Go Go Crane.
Right.
We went
how
to that.
often do you do this?
The goal is really to do it every 2 weeks. And when we started the society, one of our main ideas was to collaborate with local small businesses, because a lot of our guests may have never been to Truffles and Bacon, or they've never been to Cafe 86. And so we wanted to be a reciprocal relationship. And so we're open to anyone who wants to host us.
Yeah.
So how is it you set up a table and then they eat, or you can eat on the table, the mahjong table?
Yeah.
How does that go?
Yeah, well, first the process is that we want everybody who attends our events to always have a seat. We've noticed that a lot of the other cities, the ones who have created mahjong clubs, a lot of it is just like you buy a ticket to just enter the venue. But matter of getting a seat, it's just kind of like, you know, it may happen, it may not. You may have to actually take turns with people. We wanted to always make it that if you attend one of our events, you have a seat, you can play the whole entire time. You know, so what we ask is that we have our link in our Instagram bio. You just sign our wait list, and that's how you get on our email.
Oh, this flyer.
Yes. Then we send you whenever we have an event. Then you get an invitation that you can.
All
sign up
right.
for.
Okay.
Yeah. And as far as the food, that's how we connected because we both have like food Instagram pages, and one of the ways that we wanted to differentiate our club is that we were like, we're always gonna have food.
Right.
Food.
We're always gonna have food.
We became
of
friends,
course.
you know,
Yeah.
13 years ago based on
Food.
our love
Food.
of food. That was
Yes.
what drew us together.
Yeah.
And, you know, over the years, we both created Instagrams for food. And then, you know, I think this is a natural progression, but that's why we always wanted to include food as part of the experience.
Right. My
Right.
sister would host Mahjong in her home, and she would always have food like for the whole day.
It's a very Filipino way, right?
rule.
We have to.
Yeah.
So people eat, like, they come a little bit early, they eat a little bit. We try to, you know, we provide little food tables. And then, you know, we take a little break here and there, just, you know, so.
And
yeah.
chismes.
And chismes.
is important.
That's part of the game. Chismes is the, you know,
Chismes is
gossiping,
important.
Yes.
socializing,
Yes.
right?
Yes, getting to know people. Do you earn from this? Do people pay to play? Does the business owner earn something from
The businesses,
game?
the businesses like Magnolia, they get exposure to their cafe. Plus, they actually really enjoy making like off menu items for us.
Specifically for
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
because they want to test it to see if they wanted to add it to their permanent menu. And you know, it's such a treat for us. You know? So people can purchase it when they come. When they do sign up for an event, they do pay like a event fee, basically. It's
An
just to
event
cover administration, the
Yes.
site,
The
all of
equipment.
all our organizations. We set up the tables. We provide everything. You just have to bring yourself.
Right.
Yes.
We have the mahjong tables, everything.
But the players compete among each other, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The table.
the table.
Right, they play. And so when we first started, you know, we started maybe with our first official event. I think we had 3 tables, 12 people, maybe our first one. But since then, so we had our first official event in January, and since then we've had 6. And we've had repeat guests, and you know, and that was the goal, is to create a community here in Las Vegas for Mahjong, you know. And there are people who come who don't know anybody else who play,
Right.
but they found us, and they've made friends, and then the next time that we have an event, they're together, you know. And that's what really is gratifying, I think, for us, is that people learn the game, and then they're meeting friends. You know, they're socializing, and they know that in 2 weeks there's going to be another event.
There's a
Right.
question from someone. Is it gambling?
No.
So if there's no money involved in
No
the
money.
winning? Oh, okay.
We do make it fun. We bring some, like, you know, play poker chips, and we set up, like, because, you know, Filipino mahjong, they play with a lot of side bets.
Right.
So
That's
I've asked Terry, what does your family's side bets look like? So we've even wrote like little lists of, okay, this side bet is worth this
such
much.
as.
So what we did the last time, and I think everyone had so much fun, we wrote it all on a piece of paper, and we just gave a start time, and we're like, okay, you're playing with your own table, and we gave them maybe an hour or so for our event, and we said whoever has the most chips, you know, not money but chips, they will win the raffle prizes. And we always offer like a, you know, gift card.
We've given away mahjong sets.
Food.
Yes.
We give away food.
Susie will always make and that's one of the highlights too. Is Susie will make a dessert for all the
Yes.
guests as well.
Nice.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
But we can't
Nice.
gamble. We can't.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of Filipinos do that at home, which is fine. You can do that at home, but we can't do it in
Yeah, not the
right.
Jade Society.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Why Jade Society, by the way?
Because of the green.
The green.
And we really, you know, our sets. So
Your sets are green?
most of them are right.
Yeah. And we didn't want to. Everybody called their mahjong club a club, and I was like, Terry, what can we call it besides club? And then we just kind of brainstormed, and I was like, let's call it a society. And she was like, yes,
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Jade Society.
Very
It's
Jade
classy.
Society.
So, social ka.
Yes.
Kasi
Social.
nasa
Social.
society.
And since it was originally a Chinese game, a lot of people use dragon and things from but yeah, we just wanted to use jade, and so most of our tiles are green.
Jade is considered to be lucky.
Yes,
Very
as
lucky.
well.
Yeah.
So I like it. Number one, I like it that it's we're just dispelling some myths regarding the Mahjong Club. It's not a gambling society.
No.
We wish.
We wish not.
I think we would get in trouble.
Yeah.
Especially in Las Vegas.
No.
Yes.
We don't want to compete with the casinos.
No.
Okay. And secondly, you are partnering with local businesses, mostly restaurants. Okay. Filipino, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Asian,
No.
not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Could
Not
be
necessarily.
any.
Anybody.
All right. So the first time I met them, or I saw them, for those who followed me last week, was at the Chinese
New
Year
Year.
festival. They were next to our booth, the UP Alumni Association
The
of
Sari
Nevada,
Sari
Sari booth store. Okay, so incidentally, this show is brought to you by UP Alumni Association of Nevada, of which me and I were former leaders. So now we want to get to know the different are they
heart
characters?
of it. The heart of Mahjong.
What do you call them? They are
Tiles.
tiles.
Yes.
And the drawings, what do you call them? Suits, symbols,
It's
characters.
more like
Character.
I would say characters.
Yeah, I know bamboo. There's a bamboo there somewhere.
Yes.
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 I know
Okay.
one ball.
One
That's
more.
right.
All right, let's see if we can get a focus on that. Medyo blurred lang. Pero sige lang, go ahead. So, what's the first thing that's needed? A table.
Any table.
Come closer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any table will do. These tiles, they come in different sizes and styles. Since we're Jade Society, we just typically always like the green ones. And whenever somebody asks me, well, how do you play Mahjong, right? I asked you earlier, do you play cards? Any kind of cards,
Right.
gin rummy or poker?
Poker.
If you know a deck of cards, they have suits, basically clubs, spades, diamonds, and hearts.
Okay,
Because there's like a number order to them.
Yeah.
Tiles are almost the same way. So this is a suit. They call
Okay.
characters.
All right.
This is another suit. People call them sticks or bamboo.
So there's character, there's sticks or bamboos, and
Then the
balls.
last one is called balls or dots.
balls or dots.
So this is the one ball.
Can you show
Yeah.
it to the camera over there? That
here?
one, that camera.
One ball.
Yes.
This is our favorite because this is the one stick. It doesn't look like a stick, but it's a bird on a stick.
I
And this is our
see.
logo.
That's also our logo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So if you look at it, it's not hard to see like the number order 1 through 9. So the ball, this one has one ball, two balls, threes, all the way up to 9.
Up to 9. Okay.
Yeah. So these are the main 3 suits, right? Okay. And what is it? These, I think a lot of people don't know, but there's actually 40 different ways to play Mahjong in this
40.
entire way.
Over
40 different
varieties.
ways.
Yeah, you can Google it. Yeah.
Okay.
So every variation is different. So the Filipino way, just so you know, other cultures, they'll consider these dragons and what is it called, winds and flowers. The Filipino way, we basically consider these all as flowers.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though there's, like the Hong Kong way or the Japanese versions, they will incorporate these in their own rules. But for Filipino Mahjong, we don't. We just consider these all flowers. So the ones you really have to pay attention to is basically these 3 suits.
Okay.
And that's what differentiates Filipino from Hong Kong style a lot, is that It's actually easier to learn because we do not play with all of these.
You don't play with
These
the
are
flowers.
no,
Yes.
not at all. We
Okay.
discard those. Whereas in Hong Kong style, you use some of them you throw out.
What are those three in the middle again? Are they also
here?
flowers?
Right here?
Flowers.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, Filipino Mahjong, they consider them flowers, but these are dragons.
Oh, dragons.
These would be the dragons.
Yeah,
And
these are winds, like northeast, west, south,
Okay.
winds, right? And these are flowers and seasons.
All right. Winds, flowers, seasons,
Right.
dragons.
And in
Right.
Filipino
Dots,
Mahjong,
yeah.
like Terry said, it's the most simplest, I feel, Mahjong version to learn. And once you learn and you got these three down, if you learned another variation that includes these, you already have this down. You can incorporate these so much easier. And that's what we've noticed with people who learn Filipino Mahjong, and then they go, oh, they get an opportunity to learn Hong Kong Mahjong or Taiwanese Mahjong. They're like, oh, I already know so much of it.
So the beginner class that you offer to the community, is that Filipino Mahjong?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
At least, we're on the same page.
Yes.
Filipino Mahjong.
Why are there the dice?
Okay.
It's basically every one game goes until somebody wins, right? And we can explain how somebody wins. But once you win, you start another round, right?
Oh,
and
I
so every
see.
time a round resets, just to create a randomness, we throw the dice.
Okay.
Even when you start the game, everybody rolls the
Yeah.
dice.
Ah,
so they do come into play.
Yeah, so
Right,
nobody gets the same order of tiles. It's created by randoms, so nobody cheats.
Okay, so then I know that you arrange the tiles. Would you like to show the container, the box, what do you call that? The bag.
So there are actually
How many-
144 tiles.
144.
So this is
Total.
not
Each one,
everything.
so this one, but this is the main part. So each each tile has four.
Okay.
Four of them.
Just like in playing cards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
consider these to be your playing cards.
I see.
Yeah.
So
So
144.
the one ball, there's four of them. The one stick, there's four. Each one has four. The only ones that don't have four are the actual flowers. But there's four dragons of each. There's four winds of each.
I see.
So a
Okay.
total 144 tiles.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you begin with all
whole
of them.
set.
We have the whole set.
Oh, that's why there's so
Right.
many.
Yes.
Is there they call it joker?
Some mahjong, some variations of mahjong incorporate a joker.
Okay.
Filipino mahjong does not.
What's the aim of winning? How do you know that you're winning?
We should create a winning
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Does it always have to be 4 players?
It should be four players.
players.
You could get away with playing 3 if you really needed to, but a true game is 4.
4.
Yeah, which is great because it makes you be social. It makes you, come out in the real world.
Yeah.
It's not just a game that you play on the computer.
Right.
Yes.
It's analog. It's creating a connection.
It's hands-on.
Is there
There's-
an app already for Mahjong? Do you know?
I think there are online games
Yeah.
of it. My husband plays one, but
It's different.
right.
I
And then
like the ruler. Yeah.
there has been a resurgence, I would say, or a renewed interest in the game, especially with the millennials and the younger crowd.
see. Okay.
And so that's why a lot of these clubs have started springing up all over the country. So
2 more, right?
2 more.
So what are we seeing now?
We're
You're
going to show you what a
arranging-
winning hand looks like.
An
A
example
winning
of a winning
hand.
hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as Terry gets two more sets out, so when somebody asks me, I go, Mahjong is a 4-player game typically. You are competing against one another.
Okay.
The object of the game, everybody has a certain number of tiles. Everyone has the same number of tiles, and in Filipino Mahjong, you get 16.
16 tiles.
16. Everybody
so
has 16.
8 at the bottom, 8
No,
at
just
the
all one.
Oh,
all
really?
hand. Yep, 16.
Oh, okay, 16.
And you take turns, basically. And like if I was going and my turn, I will look. Nobody else sees your hand. It's like a, it's like playing cards. Nobody else sees your tiles. You can't see everybody else's tiles, and everybody takes a turn. And in one turn, you will pick up a tile. You will draw a tile, and then you will discard a tile.
Oh,
That's when your
okay.
game is. That's when your turn is over.
When you discard a tile.
Yes. Then the next person will do the same thing.
He
They
can
will
pick your
draw
card.
a-
If he needs your tile, he can pick it up.
Right. Or draw from the draw wall, which is
Okay.
face down.
The wall, Mia.
Yes.
The wall. It's the
Yes.
wall of China,
the
Mia.
wall, yes.
The great
Yes.
wall of China.
And so, and then the next person will do the same thing. They will draw, and then they will discard. And
Okay.
we will just go
Okay.
in order. Now, when the game stops is when the first player out of the 4 has a complete hand.
Oh.
When you can establish a complete hand, then you throw down your hand and you say, Mahjong.
What's a complete hand? What's
So
that thing?
we've just created one for you.
Oh.
This is an
If you
example.
can, if you
I
can zoom in on
see.
it, right?
No, we don't.
No, just show it there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'm trying.
Yes. Thank you, Kuya Yo. We're live, by the way. Okay.
live, yeah.
So as you go through this process of drawing a tile and discarding, what you're trying to do, the object of the game, is to make some sets. Okay.
One,
Now-
2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay.
And remember how we
the
talked about
16?
right, and we talked about Pong versus Chow. So Pong is 3 of a kind. You can see there's
Pong
okay,
is 3 of a
and then this
kind.
is an example
Chow
of Chow.
is,
So it's
consecutive
consecutive, like a
order.
run.
I
So you
see.
can create 5 sets of either kind of set and,
And
one
one
pair. This is an
I
example.
remember now. I remember.
Right.
So I think she told me. I think my nana
pair has
taught
to
me
be
the
our birds.
Filipino.
Our birds, yes.
Over here.
Here we
Okay.
go.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So this is an example of a winning hand in Mahjong.
Yeah, the most common winning
Okay.
hand.
All right.
The second to the last one, what is it? What's
Those
the
are balls.
combination?
6, 7, 8.
So
Oh,
that's
6,
a
7,
chow.
yeah.
So that
So
would be
you
a
can
chow.
actually count the dots.
Right.
See
okay.
it, like,
Ah.
Yeah.
Does it make sense now, Mia?
Yeah, now it
So-
makes sense.
So in a sense, a winning
Magaling
hand is
the teachers.
whoever on your table completes a winning hand before anybody else. And a complete
paunahan.
hand is
Okay.
usually 5 complete sets and 1 pair.
Ay,
Yeah.
okay.
And now-
Easy na, Mia. Pwede na.
It sounds simple, and it is simple.
It is
but
simple.
it also takes brain power because it does have some strategy. You can't just concentrate on only your hand. You have to see what other people are throwing.
Okay.
Right, and of course we probably won't get into it, but there are certain rules of like, okay, can you pick up a tile that has been discarded?
can you?
Things like that.
Only
There are certain instances when you can and when you cannot.
yes.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So they will know that if and when they enroll.
Yes.
Is there a fee to enroll in your beginner class?
Yes,
How much is
there
that? If you're, it's okay.
Yeah. The beginner class, it's basically for people who've like never played before, never touched a tile. It's a 3-hour workshop.
A workshop.
And we have an instructor at each table.
All
So
right.
it's 4 people, 1 instructor. And for the 3-hour workshop, it's $35.
Oh, not bad. Not
And
bad.
you'll get a little cheat card that you can actually take
Ah,
home,
okay,
so that you
35.
can study it for the next time.
Can you bring it while you're playing?
Of course.
Of course, we give
Of
it to you.
course.
We give
it's
it to
yours
you.
to keep.
Enroll na tayo,
Right.
Mia.
No, it reminds you. It reminds you what a what a chow is, what a
Right,
pong
right.
is,
It
and
shows
what
the
a-
winning hands.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
We go over
okay,
the suits.
okay.
The suits will be on there. So
Yeah.
it reinforces what you've learned.
And what we're really proud of, what we realized at the last event, is that we've seen so many people come, and of course we met them for the first time. They enrolled in our beginner class, and now they are playing in our tournaments.
Oh, you
Right.
have tournaments.
We had
as
our
well.
first
had our
tournament
first
just this
tournament.
past weekend, and we had cash prizes that we, provided ourselves, and it was really fun. We even bought a timer,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's so great to see people who had never played before, and now here they
Yeah.
are months later.
Yeah, they're
Oh, my
fast.
goodness.
And
they're
they
fast.
are,
Yeah.
and they love it.
Yeah.
You know, I was taught Mahjong 5 times and never really got it. But now I can because it was explained theoretically.
And that's why you need to come to our lesson.
6 times
I
the
didn't even
charm.
know what a pong is. they just told me when you get a pong you win. I'm like, okay. And then I won without even knowing it. I
Right.
didn't understand it.
No, and that's what means a lot to us.
Right.
We want to teach it patiently and in a fun atmosphere so that it's easy for anybody to understand.
And we
Simpler way.
Right,
Very
we start with the
simple,
basics.
yeah.
We go over the tiles.
Right.
We have, we let people interact with them first, and then we do play. We play hands and we play face up so people can see what everyone is doing before we start playing without anyone.
And before they leave, we play like a real hand,
Right.
but in a slow, comfortable pace.
Right.
So that nobody feels rushed, And I think they have a lot that fun.
I was wondering, why do people feel the tiles?
Those are for the
sometimes?
experts.
Oh,
They can
okay,
tell. They can identify it.
Oh,
by-
without even
Yes.
opening it.
Yes.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
What's the point of that? It's just for
What
fun, no?
the tile is.
It's
They
just for
just
fun.
they just want to know the tile even before they flip it up.
Right.
But that also means that they've played so much they know
It's a
what each
skill.
individual tile feels
Right.
like in their hand.
Yes.
See, my sister plays a lot and she does that. I'm like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
are you feeling?
It's easy
That's
to
impressive.
feel
Yeah.
the one stick. Madali lang yan.
Yes.
One stick.
Yeah.
At
You
saka
would
yung
think,
one
right?
ball.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like reading
Yeah.
Braille.
Right.
It's like so how come you have all green tiles in all your mahjong? How many mahjong sets do you have?
What are we up to? 7 or 8?
We have,
7 or 8?
we have a good amount now.
We're accumulating. We're accumulating tables and sets as we go.
Do you order from like for us, for beginners, do we order from Amazon or do you have like a
We're actually
manufacturer?
we're actually working with a company that's gonna give us an affiliate code soon. It's because
Ah.
but you can find them in many places.
Yeah, I got
and
mine from
they all
Amazon.
come in different sizes, and
Yes.
like a lot of people, they love collecting these.
Is
You
that
know, they
so?
love like getting different colors. You know,
There's
I mean.
the smaller ones. to
Yes,
the
they have
mini
travel
ones.
sizes, and they have even ones that are bigger than this. You know,
Okay.
we like the chunky ones
Right. I mean,
because our eyesight is not like, getting.
yeah.
these are fun to
You
play
know.
with. Also, I would also add, if you're playing Filipino mahjong, I grew up playing with the tiles that have numbers. So when you do
Right,
look
right.
on
Oh,
Amazon,
yes.
make sure that you do order the ones with
Do your
numbers.
tiles have numbers?
Unless you can
Okay.
read Chinese already. And playing for all the years that I have, there was no need because we've always played with sets that are numbered. But if you are going to order your own, make sure and you play Filipino
When you
style.
become a
I have
professional.
a
Right.
silly question.
No.
With all the people handling it, how
Yes.
do you clean the tiles?
Oh, we wash our tiles.
Oh,
we
you
sanitize
wash it?
them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yes.
It's a ritual. I take
Right,
it home, I
right.
sanitize it, and I put it back in
Right.
order.
I dump mine
So-
in a
So when you
bucket.
asked us to bring a
Bucket.
towel,
Right.
I was like, oh, it's all ready to go.
Right.
It's
right.
ready to go.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I can imagine.
That's
Exactly.
a very good question, Mia. That's especially
Especially now.
After
Especially
the
when people are
COVID.
eating
Yeah,
food as
right.
well
Yeah.
at our events.
That's why we
Correct.
take little restroom breaks, you know.
Yes.
And
and they
Yes.
they have alcohol. They have
Right.
before touching the tiles. I'm very particular with that.
Yeah, especially
Yes.
after COVID.
Mhm.
Yes.
For sure.
Not so much as for the disease as for the yuckiness of
It
the
gets
oils.
sticky,
Right.
Especially with food.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so. This is very informative. So, what is for beginners? What is a no for? Let's say we go to the event. What's a no for you?
I would say first, you have to come and you have to be a cheerleader.
A cheerleader.
You have to. When people win, you have to cheer for them.
Ah.
That's something that we feel strongly about, that you have to celebrate everyone's wins,
Okay.
not just your own.
Right.
You know?
This is
so
a
it's
casual-
that's an overall universal mahjong etiquette.
That's a yes. Yes.
You know, of course, you might be sad that you didn't win,
Okay.
but
Oh.
you have to cheer for everybody who does.
Okay. Don't be
Yeah.
a sore loser.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I think that applies to
Everything.
but
Everything.
But I would have to say that would be number one.
How
Which-
long is
yeah.
a typical game?
One round?
Yes.
Oh, it could be minutes. It could be, you know, if
like
if you're
when you get
naturally
the-
dealt an
okay.
amazing hand,
Right.
you know, like, you know, you could win within one round of turns, you know,
Oh, okay.
or it could go on for maybe 10 minutes. I mean, like,
What's
it
the
all
longest?
depends
On your skill level as well. Of course, the beginners will take longer, but
Yeah, yeah.
you know, once you know how to play, it could be like Susie said. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 15,
Yeah,
20.
yeah.
But that's what you know. One of the draws of playing mahjong now is that time flies.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And you are, you know, spending time with people, you're meeting new friends, we're socializing, we're not on our phones, you know, these analog hobbies are coming back because it takes us away from doom scrolling,
Yes.
you know, and you're
yes.
using your brain. And
Yes.
actually Mahjong has, you know, there are studies that it's good for you.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
there's strategy, there's skill, and there's luck involved.
Yes.
You know, and that's what I think people are drawn to, especially now.
Yes, I heard that if you're an elderly, or before you become an elderly, yes, play mahjong
Yes.
to stimulate your brain cells.
Exactly.
We should do that, Mia.
I
no?
know, we
Yeah,
should
yeah.
start doing mahjong.
You guys have to come to one of our events.
Yeah, maybe we can put a table here sa
You
PHLB.
can. You can teach everyone. Right.
Right, right. So moving on, let's because I like the happy vibes of what you're offering to the community. So the cards that I gave you this morning or this afternoon na siguro, no? Afternoon na ba?
early.
It's now afternoon. Yes, we're 30 minutes early. So the first one, who got that one? What does it say? What's your card,
I got
Terry?
two, remember?
The front part
front?
first, yes.
The front says, I practice the science of deliberate creation.
And then the flip side of it.
Giving thought to anything is creation. Giving deliberate thought to anything is deliberate creation.
How does that affect? How does it resonate with you
I think
in
it
what you're
resonates
doing?
with Jade Society, especially because this was something that I had dreamt about for so long, and now I always tell Susie I can't believe that we actually created something that's successful and that is meaningful to people. So that really
That's
speaks to
deliberate
that.
creation,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. When you really intend something, that's called deliberate creation. It's not something like, it's different from the bahala na attitude. When we say, okay, so we deliberately create, let's say, I'm going to have a Mahjong society. That's deliberate creation. And then you put in the, I'll turn it over to the universe. So that's when we say, bahala na, how it's going to be. So that's the element of divine, I wouldn't say intervention, but divine implementation instead of intervention. So, yeah, that's it. That's
It's really like manifestation,
Yes,
right?
it
I mean, you
is.
can manifest it, but then you actually have to put it into action.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
So that's we are using the teachings of Abraham. That's well-being cards. There are many ways of well-being. So what I heard from a teacher is 5 components of well-being: connection, which is what you're doing. Connection. We connect with people, with our communities. Second is movement. So dapat after a break, perhaps people should stand up and move and eat, take breaks, right?
Exactly.
There's also movement of the hands.
Swimming.
Swimming, that's what they say.
Swimming.
Yeah, second is growth, learning new things. So this is what we're doing. We're learning new things, learning, 40 different versions of Mahjong. And then there's service, service to each other, service to the community, which is what you're doing,
Right.
service. And I'm sorry, I forgot the 4th one. But that's it.
Welcome
The-
back.
I like
the
that.
5th one,
I like
yes.
that. We've covered.
Yes,
We covered
yes.
those.
All four of them. I'm sure if I remember the 5th one, I will tell you what it is. So what's your card?
The front says, as I breathe deeply, I feel myself thrive.
As you breathe deeply, yes.
Thriving is as natural as breathing itself. By relaxing often and breathing deeply, your natural thriving is enhanced.
Okay, so how does it relate to you?
It does. This is, I think, it's been a challenge of mine in my lifetime. that I've always told myself to relax more and to accept the fact that you can't control everything.
Oh, okay.
You know, and to take a moment to just breathe and know that it's just going to work out. Have faith in the universe, in a sense.
I love
because
that.
You can't control everything in life.
Right,
you know, and
right.
it's something that I have definitely become better at. You know,
Yes,
as I
yes,
age.
Yes. For me, this social event or social interaction is like a breather for me, from being alone at home most of the time. So for some people, being alone is a breather from too many people. For me, it's the opposite. So being in a social club like yours, Jade Society, that would be a breather from solo thinking, you know.
Right.
How about for you, Mia? What's your breather?
My breather is dancing.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
but I
good.
like what Terry said about, you know, it's a service to the people. It's making them come out and be sociable.
I think, especially after the 2020 pandemic, it's even more important than ever because that happened. It really isolated people,
Right, true. That's
you know.
true.
And now, you know, we just want to remind people that, you know, maybe you don't have to be as social as before. Like, especially, you know, the millennials and the younger generations, you know, we're seeing a big track and change. Like, they're not going to bars and nightclubs as much as they used to, but they still want to socialize. They still want to be in groups and meet new people and have friends. And we feel like this is a perfect
I
solution.
love it. Yeah,
A
I
lot of
love
them
it.
too. To add to that is that a lot of Asian Americans are getting in touch with their, you know, this is a game that's been around for over 200 years. This is not a new game.
Oh, I know, right?
But you know, there's a resurgence in exploring your heritage and taking pride in that. You know, and I think that's also important, and
Right.
we love to see it. And it's not just Asians who come to our events.
I love
Oh,
that.
no.
And that's what's also great.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like Susie said, there are people who've always wanted to play mahjong. You know, from 2018 when they saw it in Crazy Rich Asians. You know,
Yeah.
there was so much attention to that scene, but you know, it's kind of intimidating because they
Right,
don't
it's
know anyone who
intimidating.
plays. You know, and then we tell them that we have this now, and they're so excited, you know, to learn it, and now that they know as well.
I love it. It bridges cultures. You know,
Exactly.
it's very multicultural. What's your other card, Terry?
My other card, there is nothing for me to guard against. You exist in a place of absolute well-being. Tell yourself that again and again. Know it. Be the evidence of it to give others reason to believe that all can be well. This to me speaks of, in times of uncertainty that we've been in, I think that it's not healthy to be negative and to always think that the world is ending. I think you always have to hang on to that positivity and hope, even in the face of something that looks so horrendous.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, there's nothing to guard against. I love that. You know, you're not being attacked. And to be in a community like this, to have conversations and to topple the walls, to break the walls, the
Yeah.
mahjong walls, you know,
Yeah.
to bring down the walls is a statement of unity. Like, it's a symbol of unity, you know, in times like these, actually. So we come together as Filipino Americans, Asians, you know, and we have conversations, we have fun, we learn from each other. Like you said, we can go chismis over the mahjong table. How does it relate for you, Mia? I think you have something to say here
Oh,
about
no,
positivity.
I just like
Yeah.
how you celebrate the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have
Celebrate the winner. That's what you
Yeah,
said. Ooh,
celebrate the
yes.
winner.
Yes.
Celebrate the winner.
we have such a good group. Like I was just telling Terry, I was like, wow, people, they just come and they're happy. And I think just like maybe dancing is for you, it's kind of an escape. Like whatever your life is at home, it could be like, it could be challenging. It could be
Yes.
frustrating.
True.
It could be a downer sometimes, but then you just have a moment, an afternoon, that you can just come and just play a game and actually focus on something else.
Right.
You know, and just, take a little break from your everyday life. You know, and I think that's what a lot of hobbies do for people. So,
Yes.
we're super happy to introduce this game to people and make it their hobby.
Right. The Vegas community has been. People have to go home.
Yeah.
They want to keep playing.
We have to go home.
Feed your kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at Filipiniana we have a few mahjong players, and we cannot interrupt their mahjong days.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
say
poker
now it's
night.
mahjong day.
Yes.
Like okay.
Yes.
Yes. And I want to inject here before we move on or we move out. No, Montessori says, Dr. Maria Montessori, who is the founder of Montessori education, she said the hands are the instruments of the brain. Oh, let's make it singular. Mia, hindi na plural, Mia. The hand is the instrument of the brain. So what we're doing here is we're stimulating the brain using our hands here. At the same time, I feel like it's a very good alternative to too much screen time.
Exactly.
When
Yeah.
You said that earlier. Yeah.
You should implement no phones on the mahjong table.
Oh, we always make people take a picture of their first mahjong, though.
Yes.
That is a ritual
Yes.
because that's something to celebrate, especially for the newbies.
Yes.
Because it's like such an
All right.
exciting thing. But
Yeah, but
right.
you can't
Be answering and then you
Yeah, you
No,
can't
no,
hold
and
the
that's the
game
thing.
because
Yeah.
you
And
have
that's it.
to
No.
text.
No,
or-
that's
yeah,
it.
it's
Exactly.
Like,
Our last event, one of our guests, I guess her son called while she was playing, and she was like, "I gotta go. I'm playing mahjong."
Like I cannot talk to
Priorities
right.
here.
It was so funny.
Yes.
We loved it. We loved it.
Yes.
It's so important.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And so Mia has a quote for us before we close the show. I know you have to go somewhere. We do
I don't know
this
if this
every-
is a quote or a joke.
a joke.
I saw this on Facebook.
A joker. Okay.
Yeah, it says Mahjong is a test of my skill versus your luck.
Oh, it is.
It is. I love that. I love it.
It's a test of my skills versus your luck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because there's elements of all of that.
Right.
You could be a great player, but if your hand, what you were dealt with, you just have to use that.
Just like in life.
Exactly.
Yes.
Just like in life.
Yes.
But you can also be a deliberate creator. Like even if you're dealt with a lousy hand there,
You can make something of it.
you can make something out of it.
Right.
You can have fun with it. You can support the other
Yes.
players,
Right.
and it's your decision to be happy. Your
Or
decision.
just breathe.
Breathe.
Right.
Buntong
Yes.
hininga. I'm losing. Okay.
Right.
Yes, you have a choice to just enjoy
Exactly.
and to have fun.
And also, if you did have a bad hand, it doesn't mean you're going to have a bad hand all the time.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you're just having that moment.
Exactly.
Only for that round. That's like life.
It is like life.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the next hand can be amazing.
Yes, maybe today you're not so happy, but tomorrow you.
And that's it. You have to be patient because it's going to come.
Yes, yes. You have opportunities to mix the tiles, to swim. Yeah. To shuffle. You shuffle what fate has given you.
That's right.
Because you're not a victim of the world you see. Nobody is a victim. Because nobody's being attacked except for those people there. Okay, well, we're not going to talk about that anymore. But here in On the Dot, nobody's attacking anybody, nobody's a victim. So let's have your final words before we go, Susie.
No, we're happy to be here to spread the word. We just want to share the love that we enjoy so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Terry.
I just want to thank you as a Filipino American to be able to share this game, this version of the game as a Filipino and to spread the joy like Susie said and have the opportunity to spread the word here in Vegas. And we invite you to come and learn And I would encourage your followers to follow us on Jade Society on Instagram,
Instagram.
and we would love to meet and have more people join the
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
For sure.
For sure, for sure.
When is your next event?
It is the first week of April. It's already sold out.
Wow.
So we're going to have another one later in April, and it will probably be back at Truffles and Bacon.
Okay. When you say sold out, do you have a maximum number of people allowed?
We fit as much as we can fit in the cafe.
Based on the venue.
It's based on the venue.
You know, we look at the venue, how
Yeah.
many tables can we fit there?
We don't have like standing room. We don't charge for that. Everyone gets to play.
Right.
You don't have what they call in Ilonggo, miron. You don't have onlookers.
Yes.
No?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, final question, Mia? No?
No.
You're good?
Are you going to come?
I'm hoping to learn.
Yes.
Hands on.
We
no?
invite you
Hands on.
anytime.
Yes.
And every time they ask me, you wanna learn? I'm no.
Look at how happy your sister
Yeah.
will be
Yes.
when you're like,
Oh, she's in the Philippines.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's gonna drag you, Mia,
Yes.
to